A watch straight out of a dystopian future. I'm Chase. This is All Things Random. Today we're looking at the Mechanical Exploration MS1001. Now, why do I say that this watch is straight out of a dystopian future? Well, the one I have here is a black stainless steel PVD coated case with red indices. It looks mean and it's black and it's red. And it just reminded me of that dystopian future. Something straight out of BladeRunner 2049 or Equilibrium. Anyway, I'm Chase. This is All Things Random, mostly watch reviews with some random stuff sprinkled in between. Today, we are looking at this Mechanical Exploration 1001. Please, before we hop into the video, hit the subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and as always, details right up front, my opinion, at the very end. The one I have here is the PVD black coated red indices. However, they do offer it in a brushed stainless steel, and they offer it in different color variants for the indices. The overall lug to lug or case diameter of this watch is going to be 48 millimeters. This is a square watch, so 38 millimeters in width, 14.5 millimeters in thickness. However, this thing wears more like a 13 millimeter because you can see it almost has a rooftop. So the center line is slightly higher than the case edges, so it's going to wear slightly smaller. The lug width of this is going to be 22 millimeters. However, you can see that the lugs on this are shortened, so you're going to need to use their strap. You have this in a floral rubber strap. They also have this in a leather option as well. Looking down from the top, you can see this has two unique defined windows. On the left-hand side is going to be the hours. On the right-hand side is going to be the minutes. Those two windows are both sapphire glass, which I'm super happy to see at a price point of around $300. Looking at the dial, you can see that this is very unique, and it seems like there's a lot going on. The only other watch I can compare it to in the luxury watch market would be something like the Devon Works Tread, which uses belts, gears, CNC parts, a microprocessing unit to tell the time at a price point of well over $10,000. Well, again, this thing comes in at around $300. It uses CNC parts, a microprocessor, motors, and instead of belts, it uses a unique vertical worm gear drive to allow the hours and minutes to wander vertically up and down the dial to tell you the time. Red indice hours on the left hand, red indice minutes on the right hand. So as we are talking about this watch and the dial and how to read time, let's just go ahead and go through the functionalities of this watch because it'll show you how it works and how time is read as we're going through the different functionalities of this watch. This is a small computer, so instead of just time only, they did offer a couple more things that are pretty cool. So the crown at the 3 o'clock position, you hit that crown one time and it has 6 LEDs that light up the dial. Not only does it have LEDs to light up the dial, but it also has classic lume that are separate from the red indices. You can see there are dash marks underneath each red indice plot. Those are lume plots. Also, the hour and minute hand are also lumed. Hit that crown twice consecutively, and the hour hand moves into a functionality to tell you the percentage of the battery left in the watch. This thing has a 270 milliamp per hour battery, which means with a 4 to 6 hour charge, this thing lasts for 30 days. Hit the crown 3 times consecutively, 1, 2, 3, and you go into the chronograph function. The way this is set up on the left-hand side with your hours, those are your minute counters, and on the right-hand side with the minutes, those are your second counters. So once both are at the very bottom, you press that crown once and you can see the seconds start counting up, and then as that goes all the way to the 60, that resets and the left-hand side ticks up 1 minute. Super cool. They didn't have to offer a chronograph feature, but they did. Hit it once again and it stops the chronograph feature. Hit it again and it resets the time into your classic time telling function. Now to set the watch, hit the crown 4 times consecutively, 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of those, the hour and minute, fall down to the bottom again, and then you rotate the crown in a clockwise position, and the hour then moves. So you can change the hour, hit it one time, the crown. That now puts you in the minute, and rotate the crown in the same way. And you can see the minutes tick up until you put it where it needs to be. Then hit the crown one time, and it resets into the time telling function. And now your watch is now currently telling time. On my 7¼ inch wrist, this thing feels very comfortable on the wrist. This is substantial in weight. It is not light at all. You can definitely feel it on the wrist, but that rubber strap curves around your wrist in a very comfortable way, hugging it very nicely and making this a very comfortable watch. You can see that it doesn't fit overly large. That 48 millimeters really wears more like a 39 millimeter round watch. So to me, it's right in the sweet spot. Now, what are my overall opinions now that I got the details out of the way? Well, one of the things that I was really concerned when I first got this watch is it kind of seemed gimmicky and cheap until I had it in hand. Once I had it in hand, I realized, one, how good the build quality was, how substantial the weight is, and then when I started looking at the details in the dial, I realized just how much quality control they put into this, because there's almost nothing wrong. At $300, clearly a lot of machining went into this watch, but there's nothing that would lead you to believe they cut corners, if any of that makes any sense. So whenever you have gears and you have mechanisms inside watches, they have to be lubed. When you have an open face like this and you have something like a gear that moves up and down, you would think that over time there would be dust or particles in the dial, because you have all these moving parts inside, but you don't have any of that inside this watch. They actually did a really good job making sure that as everything is put together, it's done in a good, clean, sterile environment. And for me, the details matter, especially when I'm reviewing it on this channel. Now, same thing when it comes to the outside. The PVD coating is done perfectly on this watch, uniform throughout. And again, they do have a really cool brushed stainless steel. I just like the black and red because, again, that dystopian future. I was like, if I'm going to have something that uses motors and gears and is a battery operated watch, it's not a quartz watch, it's just different, I want it to be like dark and mysterious. And that's why I chose this one. It just looks really cool. At the 6 o'clock position on the case, you can see it says flyback. I assume it says flyback because as that minute or hours reach the top vertical, they fall right back down to the bottom and reset and continue telling the time. Along the bridge, it says MECEXP, which I was like, what is this weird company with this weird Russian name or this jumble of letters? And then you actually do some research and you look into it, and it's mechanical exploration. Mechanical, MEC, shortened, and then exploration, EXP, just put together. Once I realized that's what it was, it all made sense. It all came together and made sense, and I felt less like an idiot. Now, this thing is extremely unique, and a con of this watch is you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's not an in-between on this watch, right? You either like it or you don't like it. I like it, especially once I got it in my hand and I started messing with it. I found myself liking it more and more and more and more, so much so I'm actually going to build a watch tree for the charger so I can just toss on, and this will be my new work watch. I'm a cop by trade, so I always want something black, subdued, and this is extremely unique. This is not a dress watch. If I wore this in a suit, maybe a black suit with a black shirt, a black tie, John Wicket, this thing is going to look on point, but in a standard dress setting, this isn't going to work. But in a tactical setting at work, this will work just fine. The thing that I like the most about this watch, and we'll wrap up the video, is the fact that I like mechanical watches because of the artisanry. I like the engineering that goes behind it, and I like the craftsmanship that goes behind it. That's why I like mechanical watches. This has all of those, except with a tech twist, right? Clearly, it took some engineering to design this watch. Clearly, it took some mechanical know-how to engineer this watch. Yes, there is a computer that is telling you the time. It goes through the functionality, but you had to design it all. One of the things that I really do like is, again, that lit LED screen. I just love that. It just looks so cool to me. It looks both futuristic and retro. And I love the fact that you can look past the gears on the dial, and you can actually see the board of the microprocessing unit behind it. That is also cool. I like that they use sapphire glass. It's not anti-reflective, a con, but the sapphire glass is a pro, which means it's going to be more durable. PVD coat. A lot of people don't like PVD coating because as you start wearing it, as you start knocking it around, hitting your wrists and stuff around, that's going to chip off and you're going to see it. I really don't care. I honestly don't care, because if I had a $8,000 Panerai PVD coated watch, it's going to do the same thing. But this thing, again, $300. Anyway, what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your opinions down in the comments below. If you've made it this far, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Again, it's free. I have a lot of stuff coming in the future. Exquisite Time Pieces is going to do a giveaway. They're going to sponsor a giveaway on this channel once I hit 19,000 subscribers. So probably in the next month, I'll hit 19,000. I'll do a review on that watch. And then right before Christmas, for the 20,000 subscriber giveaway, I will be giving away a watch from Exquisite Time Pieces. Really cool, really happy they decided to do that. If you guys are interested, check their website in the description down below. Really cool people. I did a review. I'll leave a card right here why I bought a Ball Engineer 3 from them. Great company. Can't praise them enough. And just the pure fact that they reach out and offer to sponsor a video, a watch giveaway. Super happy about that. But you got to be a subscriber. There's going to be some stuff that you have to do, like fill out a form for that giveaway. And that's so that you have some skin in the game, I guess, for the giveaway, right? I just don't want to be like 20,000 random people, somebody from India that will never watch another video, but they subscribed 2 years ago. You're the winner, and then they would never know. So when the review drops in about a month, month and a half, then I will leave a link to a Google form sheet that you're going to have to fill out. It gives me your information. You're going to have to sign up for their newsletter. You're going to have to be a subscriber. And we're talking probably only, let's be realistic, a couple hundred people are going to actually do this. So your ability to win a really cool watch is pretty high, but you got to be a subscriber. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.